For question number one, something that I noticed is that not a lot of men followed or believed in Bacchus's teachings and beliefs. It was only the Maenads, Cadamus, and Tiresias. But Tiresias was blind and Cadamus was not blind. And in the end, Cadamus was punished and Tiresias was not. But that made me kind of think that blind people were actually able to see the gods and understand them without having things distract them with their eyes, and people who could see were focusing on too many other things rather than the gods, so they were punished. And then for question number two, what are two values? One of my values is freedom, and an example throughout the play is that Bacchus persuades women to become someone else other than themselves, so they got the freedom to be whoever they wanted to be, and they drank and danced and didn't have to worry about what they had to do back at home. And another example is that he lets Pentheus become someone else rather than himself when he is brought to the mountain, until his freedom was stripped away when he was on top of the tree. And with that leads me to my second value, and that is violence. After his freedom was stripped away, he ended up getting killed by his own mother, who was being one of the Maenads for Bacchus. And another example of violence would be when Bacchus frees himself from being locked up and he destroys the palace. For question number three, choose something you circled that I did not understand. On page 4, Cadamus says, "For we needs extol him," and I found out that extol means to praise with the help of Google. Cadamus agrees that people need to praise the god, and the god being Bacchus. And so Cadamus and Tiresias were the only two men that wanted to praise and dance and drink, and the rest of the men didn't want to praise him, and ended up being punished for that. Question number 4 discussed the Maenads and if Pentheus views them the same as other characters, and no, he doesn't. He doesn't think that they are followers of Bacchus. He thinks that they're being controlled and they're captured by Bacchus, and even his own mother was manipulated by Bacchus. And this shows that the role of women in Greek society is that they're easier to manipulate than men are, and women are easier for the gods to control rather than controlling the men, because the men want to be like the gods and the women did not during that time. And why is Elvis Presley the cover? Like Bacchus, Elvis Presley had a lot of women around him. Everywhere he went, the women would follow him, and it kind of gave women a sense of freedom when they're around Elvis Presley to be someone else rather than themselves. For question number 6, two of my questions. My first question is, why is Cadamus and Pentheus have different views on Bacchus' teaching and values? My second question is, what is significant about Bacchus influencing Pentheus' mother to become one of his Maenads?